Hi there. So this is my final review and final verdict of the Kenzzi IPL device. So I started using it, I think, back in June, or maybe the end of May, June, I would say. And then now we're at the very end of December. So one of the reasons that it took me so long to film this little update and to update from the last one is because I ended up having to get an appendectomy in July, which totally threw off the schedule for using the device once per week because I was recovering. So I would say I didn't use it until the end of August or September. That's when I restarted the schedule. So one of you asked on a previous video if I had bought the device directly on the website, which I did. There was a promotion back in the summer. I think it was about 50% off, and that's when I bought it. And so my final verdict is that it does work. It's still working. Sometimes it sounds like it's kind of like the motor is struggling a little bit, but it still works. Only once when I was using it did it just stop working, and so I just unplugged it, left it for a few minutes, and then restarted it, and it worked just fine. So sometimes maybe it gets a little bit tired or overheated, and you just need to unplug it and give it a break. But it hasn't completely broken on me yet. I know some people, they did have that happen, so luckily mine is still working. And in terms of how it works, is it working? Like, how's the hair growth? So it really does work, but I would say that you have to use it a lot more than what it's being advertised, saying, in a few weeks of using it once per week, in a few months, you're not going to have any hair. I would say that's not true. I would say it takes a lot more of doing it on the regular. And also, I've been really thorough. Like, I go over every spot where I want to use it 3 times each time that I do it. And so it's a very time-consuming thing. But now I can say that on my legs, like if I shave my legs in a week, there's almost no hair growth in a week. There's just like a tiny little bit. So that's a big difference, and that's obviously what people want. And then in other areas, like the armpits, there's still hair, but it's like really reduced. It's more like patchy and thinner. And for the most part, I would say that everywhere it does work, but some areas, obviously the hair is a little bit stronger, so it's going to take more times using it on the regular before you get the results. So if I look back and see, okay, if all these months I had been going and like getting waxes at at a salon or something, at a spa, instead of using this, like, it would have cost me so much more money. So I would say it's definitely worth the money, but you have to put aside the time to do it on the regular if you actually want to see the results. Otherwise, it's not going to be worth it, because a few times here and there, you're just not going to get the long-term results that you want. But it is effective. And also, the other great thing is that as your hair gets thinner and you use it more often, it becomes less and less painful. So like some of the areas where maybe would be a little bit more, sensitive at first, you kind of like build up more tolerance, and it doesn't hurt as much. So I would definitely recommend it still. I don't know if it's the best IPL brand, at-home brand out there, but I do know that it worked. It's still working. And I am going to continue as often as possible to do it, once per week. Now, the great thing is that some areas I don't really need to do it every week, because the hair growth has slowed down so much, and it's the winter. So I'm kind of like, oh, it's okay. But at the same time, I know that if I do use it on the regular, like, the results are going to be way better, and potentially, like they're advertising, the hair growth will stop completely to a certain extent. So we'll see about that. But yeah, this is my final verdict on it. It's still very positive, and I would just recommend, if you're going to get it and use it, you have to use it right. Otherwise, you're not going to get the results that you want. So I would say, things like putting it on the 5th strength, so you use the highest power on it, and also go over each place 3 times, because that's the amount that you can, and then you're going to see results. If you use the lowest strength and then just go over it once per week, I don't think that it would actually work, or it would take a really, really long time to see the results in terms of, you know, less hair growth and having thinner hair and everything. So yeah, comment if you have any other questions. But, you know, I know some people, apparently they've had like bad experience with ordering it online and everything. I didn't have that. So I think it's a legitimate company, and the device is working. So, and it's worth the money. So obviously if you have a promotion code or something, it's the best. But if not, I would still go for it. Just be dedicated to using it on the regular. So I do hope that that helped. Maybe you guys have some like New Year's resolutions, you know, use the IPL every week, you know, make that hair go away. So if so, good luck, and also Happy New Year to everyone. I really hope that 2021 is going to be a good year for everyone out there. Take care.